Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year. It is our first, it's our first live stream of the year. I'm super excited to have you here. I've got our chat overlay up over here. If this is your first time joining me, please tell me your name. Let me know where you're joining me from. If you're an OG, say Happy New Year. I'm super excited to have you here. I've got a lot to share with you today. I have notes. I have created notes. I'm a brand new LaTisha. Let me tell you, this winter, so I basically took off of work as of December 16th. The last live stream that you guys saw me on was December 10th, but I had my head down. I was grinding. I started putting so much in place. I started planning for the new year before the new year was even upon us, and I got organized. I'm a brand new LaTisha. I got up early today. I actually scripted and put notes and bullet points for everything that we're going to be chatting about today. I've got all sorts of stuff all organized and ready for you guys. We got a full year planned out already. I'm so proud of myself. And I can't wait to share it all with you today. So, as you're coming in, please let me know where you are joining me from. What's going on, Arva? Happy to have you here. Laquita's here. Future Nutrition, welcome. Dr. Missy, glad to see you. Welcome, Jafara Podcast. King is here. Kirsten is here. Welcome. Happy New Year. I actually have a New Year hat that I normally wear. And I'm like, I've worn it like 3 times already, so I feel like I'm kind of like over it now. But I'm very, very excited about the new year. I feel like a lot of times people, there's like 2 camps, right? So there's the people who are like, okay, start of the year, fresh year, I'm going to set some resolutions, set some goals and go after them. And then there are the people who are like, don't set resolutions, don't create goals because none of that matters. You're going to quit all of those by the 15th of January anyway. I'm somewhere in the middle, being a Gemini, I got both sides. And I truly believe that at the start of the year, it's one of the best times to set goals. It's one of the best times to motivate yourself, invigorate yourself, because everything's fresh. It feels new, even though it's just, a new day. Our year started this year on Sunday. So even though we technically just went from Saturday to Sunday, it doesn't matter. And I truly feel like this fresh start, there's like a collective sense of, we feel like something's new, like something's good, like things can change, things can be different from what they were. So definitely set those goals. Definitely don't feel like you need to, listen to anyone who's telling you not to do it. I started a new goal for myself this year. It's a body goal. And I was, in the gym day one. Well, not the first, that was Sunday. Technically, my plan didn't start until Monday when my coach sent it to me. I was like, okay, great. We're going to start this on Monday. So I started on Monday. I was in the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I feel good. So as you're going towards your goals, I'm sure you'll feel the same as well. What's going on, Merle? Thank you for joining us. Aurora is here from Colorado. Super excited to have you here. Okay, couple of announcements. If you need help growing your email list, I actually created a free email marketing toolkit. If you're already on my list, you should have gotten this in the welcome email for January. But if you missed it, or if for some reason you did not get it, and you want to get it, all you have to do is text toolkit to 901-509-9337, and I'll send you the link where you can go and get it. Okay. It's absolutely free. It includes a workshop that talks about the email getting funnel, and I'll walk you through the steps of like, here's what I would put inside of my email funnel. It includes a tech walkthrough showing you one of the pieces that I teach you. It shows you actually how to do that, how to implement it. And I got some really cool things inside of it. Once again, it's absolutely free. If you didn't get it already in your inbox, text toolkit to 901-509-9337 in order to get it. Told you I'm organized. I got my graphics ready. Every single month this year, you're going to be getting something free from me. Like I said, I put some really cool stuff in place this year. I'm really, really excited to share all of that with you. What's going on, Revwan? Darnice is here. Happy to have you here. Kimani is here. Welcome. If this is your first time joining me, please tell me your name and where you are joining me from. What's going on, Beverly? Clover Creation Events. Super excited to have you here. Okay, second announcement. Today is the day we are going to be meeting up for the 2023 annual goals planning session. It is not too late to join us, okay? If you would like to join, we're meeting today at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to join and you need the details and you don't have the details yet, you're going to go to bam, LaTisha.tv/annual, and you'll be able to get all of the details. Okay. It's not too late to join us. When you enroll, I'm going to ship you a copy of the annual goal planner. Obviously, you won't have it in time for today's session, but it will come to you and you'll be able to watch the recording and sort of plan along with us, and you'll still be able to come live. You don't need the planner for today's live session. Okay, we're going to be going over a lot of cool things, and I can't wait to share all of those with you. All right, awesome. So if this is your first time meeting me, welcome. My name is LaTisha Styles. I'm a mentor for high achievers. I'm known for creating 6- and 7-figure earners by helping clients identify and dissolve the subconscious blocks, preventing them from reaching their full potential. I'm known for helping my clients to generate 18K in 2 weeks, 10K in 10 days, and 95K in 12 months, among other results. And that is why you are here today, right? To get on the path to getting some of those results for yourself. I broadcast every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. I pack a lot of value in these trainings. And as with all things valuable, there is a price. If you can join me live, you can soak up all this goodness for free. Afterwards, we take the videos, we put them inside of the YouTube membership. If you want to become a member, all you have to do is click join. If you would like a notification when I go live, subscribe, click the bell, or if you're on my text list, I'll send you a text message when I'm live. You also get access to secret flash sales and special offers. If for some reason you're outside of the US, you can just go to LaTisha.tv/free, download any of my free trainings, PDFs, or guides, and you're in there like swimwear. I believe you can create your life, but first you have to decide, because your dreams deserve your decision and you deserve to achieve your dreams, but only if you decide to do what it takes to get them. So with that said, let's hop into today's topic. Whew. All right, I'm ready to go. What's going on, Tay? Glad to have you here. Eva is here as well. Hope you grabbed the link when I just shared it just now. Okay, cool. This topic is one that I've been wanting to share for a while, and it's all about the ultimate money-making machine. And if you have, I don't know where you've been, if you haven't heard about all of the cool things that we've been seeing with AI lately. Artificial intelligence is not a new thing. There's a lot of different automations and a lot of different things that you could implement and put in place in your business in order to get more without doing more, right? There's a lot that you can put in place, but lately we've been seeing some really cool tools. Now, as I've been doing research and kind of moving into this research process, I've realized that we're actually kind of late. Like, if this is the first time you're starting to hear about some of these AI tools, you're late. I'm late. It's okay. We're about 3 years. We're about 3 years late. 3 years ago was when these conversations first started. But I want you to imagine, like, when people first started talking about, for example, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and you didn't find out about it until your cousin told you about it at Christmas. And then when you bought it, all of a sudden the price dropped. I say that because that's exactly what happened to me, right? Like, I found out about it, and my cousin was like, "Hey, you got to get in. You got to get in." And I was like, "Okay, fine." So I put like $200 in, and within a couple of days, it was down to $75. And I was just like, this crypto stuff is a scam, right? But the problem is, they knew about it like 5 or 6 years before, and I was just late. So I don't want you to be late. We're already a little bit late, and I want to catch you up. I want to catch myself up as well. I've been studying furiously on this topic and really trying to make sure that I don't get lost or left behind. And I want to make sure that you are right there along with me. I'm the type of person where as soon as I learn something, I turn around and teach it. And that's what I want to do for you guys. And so as I started thinking about today's topic, I was like, well, AI is really popular, but some of y'all haven't even really started with RI yet. AI, artificial intelligence, RI, real intelligence, right? So I want to give you a little bit of both today, and that's what we're going to be covering. And the title is all about the ultimate money machine, right? The ultimate 2023 money machine. So I started thinking, like, let's just break this down. What is a machine? And I went to get the definition of a machine. A machine is just a thing created by people to make work easier. That's like the simplest definition of a machine. So if we think about AI, artificial intelligence, it's another machine. It's a machine designed to help make our work easier. And when you think about it that way, you're like, okay, well, how can I start using some of these tools to help me make my work easier? How can I create a money machine, so to speak? And I created my own definition of a money machine, which is a money machine is a way to make making money easier, but it does have to be created by a human first, right? If a machine is something created by a human used to make work easier, a money machine has to be created by a human as well. So that's what we're going to be covering. Now, with any machine, you need two things. You need input, and then you get an output. So you'll get that output. So if we think about what are the inputs that we're going to put in order to get the output that we want, we actually have to start with the output that we want. Okay. So the first thing we ask is, what do we want to come out of our machine? Easy answer, money, right? So we want money to come out of our machine. So then we have to think about, okay, what are some of the inputs that go into the machine so that money will come out? What inputs go into the machine so money will come out? And with this, I'm going to give you 4 things, and we're going to start working backwards so that we can get money out of our money machine. We ready for this? If you are ready, give me a 1 in the chat. It's just something that you guys can do while I'm over here, working on this thing. All right, so I got to share my screen, and we're going to do this one. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and record also so I can keep this. Okay, awesome. So you're going to need 4 things in order to create your money machine. These are your 4 inputs, or 3 inputs in order to get your output. Okay, so if we look at let's change this to green. If we look at our revenue as our output, we're going to need conversions, leads, and traffic. When I did this for myself, it was so freaking eye-opening. I did my personal annual goal planning session, and I'll be talking about this more today for the session. I did my own session, and I worked backwards. I said, this is how much I want to make this year. So therefore, if this is how much I want to make, how many conversions do I need in order to get there, right? So we go from conversions to revenue. Then from there, how many leads do I need in order to start getting those conversions? And then from there, how much traffic or eyeballs do I need in order to start getting those leads? And this is a very simple process. This is exactly how you're going to create your money machine. You just have to work backwards. Okay. All right. So we start with revenue. And our question with revenue is, we want to ask why. Okay. Why do people buy? How do we make this RI, right? Real intelligence. Well, we add it as a part of our process. So I want you to look at first your sales process. So once someone actually buys, do you ask them why they bought? If you don't ask them why they bought, you won't have an idea of why your clients buy. Now, we want to make this systematic. We want to make this automatic, right? So the way that I have suggested that you do this, if you've never heard me say this before, I'm going to share it with you today. The easiest way to do this, when people sign up for your program, whether it's a coaching program, a course, or whatever it is, the first thing you should do is you should have an intake form after they purchase. So this is not like an application. This is an after purchase intake form. On that intake form, you're going to ask them, why did you buy? Why did you buy? It's very simple, okay? You ask them, why did you buy? What made you decide to purchase? The word I like to use is ultimately, because sometimes people know, they'll have an idea of like why they bought, but then there was like this one thing that ultimately made them make that decision. And that's the question that I'll ask. So the question that I typically ask if I want to find out why someone bought is, what ultimately made you decide to buy? When I get the answer to that question, that allows me to start looking at how can I make more conversions. So that's all I'm going to share on the output side of this, because now we're going to go into these first three for the three inputs. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, good. All right. So now that we've asked them, ultimately, what made you decide to buy? Now we can start looking at our conversions. Okay. For conversions, what is a conversion? A conversion is when someone goes from a lead, which we're going to talk about in a second. So we're backing up. So I don't want to define lead yet, but we're just going to define it as a lead. We're just going to use the word lead for right now. A conversion is when someone goes from a lead to actually converting into that next step. So the next step is, for example, for you, it might be getting someone on a phone call. It might be getting them to actually submit the application. It might be getting them to sign up for your webinar where they watch the webinar and they can go purchase. So if you have to think about what your funnel looks like. So let's say your funnel is like, free like email thing. Get this thing to work. Free email offer, and then maybe you take them to like a webinar, and then they watch that, and then after they watch the webinar, they have to actually submit an application, and then after they submit an application, then they come to get on the phone with you. Right? That's a phone right there. So if this is your step before they can actually make the purchase, this is your conversion. Your conversion is here to here, and then here to here. Okay, because this lead is this person here, right? So this is your conversion piece. This is what you have to actually optimize. Now, these are three apps that I like to use to convert more leads into buyers. If you've never heard of these apps before, then I don't know where you've been, because I talk about them all the time. Okay. Okay. The three apps that I like to convert more leads into buyers are ConvertKit, Phrase, and ThriveCart. So let me explain those three to you. ConvertKit is just email management, email marketing software. The way that I use ConvertKit to convert leads into buyers is I send emails. This is the easiest thing to do. So many of you guys are not doing it yet, and I understand. You're not building a list. You don't know what to do with your list. You're like, oh, I got a list, but it's dead. Or I got like 20 people on the list. It's okay. We're going to work on that. But it's the number one way that I use to convert leads into buyers. The second app that I really like is called Phrase. I'm going to talk about this one in just a second, a little bit more. But essentially what Phrase allows me to do is it allows me to create search-friendly content that is friendly to people who are searching for a specific topic. It actually will give me a grade. It'll tell me how well my content is performing, how well they expect it to perform. And then from there, what it'll do is it'll give me suggestions on existing content, tell me how I should change and modify that content to convert more people. Then the third app that I like to use is obviously ThriveCart. That's the shopping cart. But the reason that I specifically like ThriveCart is it's optimized for conversions. There are several types of shopping carts that you can use, several different apps that you can use if you want to, have a shopping cart, but everyone is not optimized for conversions. Some of you guys are sending people to, for example, like WooCommerce or Shopify. Those shopping carts are great. I have nothing against them. However, they're not optimized for a single purchase conversion. They are created so that you'll have a store. But when you want to send someone directly to a digital product, directly to a course, directly to a purchase, and you want to make sure they don't have anything else to look at except for that thing, you want a shopping cart that's specific to that item. That is why I like to use ThriveCart. So those are the three apps that I really love using that help me to convert more leads into buyers. Okay. Now, the next thing I bet you didn't know that you could create an AI assistant in less than a few hours with no coding experience. Some of you have seen this already. So let me open this up. Let me share my screen again. Che, can you clarify what you're referring to when you're saying, is that free? Which that are you referring to? Okay. Now, I've shared this before, but if you missed it, I want to introduce you to Candy, Coach Candy, my AI assistant. Okay. She pops up in the corner of my website. So if you go to you'vegotclients.com and you try to leave, she'll say, hey, before you go, did you have any questions? And then if you do have a question, you can click down here and say, I do have a question. You can ask a question. She'll say, hey, I'm Coach Candy, LaTisha's digital assistant. How can I help? I created this with Phrase. You can see it might be a little bit difficult to see just because of the size, but this says powered by Phrase. You can go to the website and go check it out. I created this in a couple of hours. All I did was I gave Phrase my website. I said, hey, go to you'vegotclients.com. They read through all of the content on my website and they made it chat friendly. So now I can go in here and I can say, how can I start a coaching business? And it'll suggest a couple of options. For example, I'm a new coach. How do I start? How to start a successful online coaching business? How do I grow a successful coaching business? So I can choose any of these three and I can say, okay, well, this one's, pretty close to what I want to ask. And then it'll come up with some suggestions, right? You can say, yes, this is helpful. No, it's not helpful. And each time I get feedback. So each time Coach Candy gets feedback, she learns, she's able to provide even better answers. And once again, you can set this up in a matter of a couple of hours with literally just one link. So it's really cool. Phrase is not free, Frase. This is a tool, you have to pay for it. ThriveCart, ThriveCart. ThriveCart is also not free. It's a one-time fee. And then I mentioned ConvertKit, not free. That's a fee. And the other app that I mentioned and I mentioned Phrase. So I use several apps and software to grow my business, and I pay for most of them. Some of them I get with a lifetime license. I use AppSumo in order to do that. And if you're interested in learning more about the resources and marketing tools that I use, you can just go to my website. And if you go there and you type in here up at the top, tools and tech, it'll show you a list of like all of the tools and things that I use and also how you can get started with them. It's very, very easy to learn more about that. Or you can ask Coach Candy. I've actually trained her with a couple of tech friendly questions. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing. I love seeing you guys help each other out. Phrase is Frase. Okay, cool. So now we're going to move into our next piece, which is understanding more about leads. So we're going to go back to here. All right. This is where we were. Okay, so last time we left off, we were talking about conversions. Now you know how to do a little bit better with converting. Okay, here we go. It's like frozen for a second. Okay, so now let's talk about leads. If you don't know the difference between an MQL and an SQL, you're going to want to listen up. Okay, I was actually talking with a client on a call yesterday or day before yesterday, and we were kind of covering her plan for 2023. And I asked her, hey, how's your funnel performing? When people come in, like how many people are converting? And she's like, well, I'm getting leads on Facebook, but they're not converting into applications, right? They're not converting into call bookings. And I had to explain to her the difference between a MQL and an SQL. Okay. So there's two different things. An MQL is a marketing qualified lead. Okay. So we have MQL, which is marketing qualified lead. And then we have SQL, which is a sales qualified lead. If you don't know the difference between these two, it's going to affect how you view your effectiveness or how you view the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns. So marketing's job is to get you marketing qualified leads and then ascend them into sales qualified leads. So what's the difference and what's the definition? A marketing qualified lead is someone who's raised their hand and said, yes, I'm interested in learning more about that. For example, at the start of this, I told you guys about the email marketing toolkit. When you sign up for the toolkit, you provide a name, an email address. You are a marketing qualified lead. That means you're interested in learning how to grow your email list, which is why you downloaded the free offer in exchange for your email address, marketing qualified lead. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a sales qualified lead. A sales qualified lead has to check this box and this box and this box. There's several things that they are required before they even qualify to become a sales qualified lead. The way that I determine if someone is a sales qualified lead is I put them through what's called an application. So when we had this conversation and she was saying, well, I'm getting leads on Facebook, but they're not converting into clients, I had to explain to her, well, but you're getting marketing qualified leads. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're sales qualified. So what you need to look at is what is the conversion for this campaign from people who are coming from marketing qualified leads over to sales qualified leads? And what's your process for doing that? Okay. MQL, exactly. Marketing qualified lead. SQL would be sales qualified lead. So when I mentioned earlier, and I'm like, some of you guys are not even using RI in your marketing, this is a huge, huge place for you to start implementing some of these things. Number one, have you made a list so that you actually know what a sales qualified lead is? Like, do you know who is qualified to become a client? What qualifications do they have to have before you'd even be willing to accept them as a client? And then what you can do is it allows you to start refining that beginning process. It allows you to start refining that MQL process so that you can determine, okay, these are the people that I want to come through and filter through. And guess how I start filtering those people? It's a little thing called email. And then I send them over to application. Okay. So it's very simple. It's very straightforward. If you're not doing this already, this is something I highly recommend. Now, one cool thing that you can do is when you do get applications and people are coming over, you're going to want to filter based on some questions that you ask. So for example, if you already know that they have to check like each of these boxes, right? So like box 1, box 2, box 3, they need to check. Have those on your application. And if someone doesn't check all those boxes, or if some reason there's, one of them that's just not quite right, filter them out. Don't allow them to see your calendar. Don't even allow them to book onto your calendar. Okay. Any questions on this so far? It doesn't, someone who purchased is not necessarily a sales qualified lead. Just because they bought or bought a program or course that you have, it doesn't make them a sales qualified lead. A sales qualified lead is someone who checks the boxes. So for example, let's say that your sales qualified lead has to be okay, you're selling a program on how to write your first script, right? A sales qualified lead might be someone who is already in business, has been in business for 3 years. I'm just making this up. Has a desire to write a script, has an audience of such and such number of people. those are your sales qualified leads. That means, okay, they have the, they meet these qualifications. Okay. They're, if they were to come and say, and raise their hand and say, yes, I'd like help with this, we would be willing to work with them. Just because someone makes a purchase or signs up for a free lead magnet, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be willing to work with them. But here's the cool thing about getting people onto your email list. Sometimes you have the ability to groom people into sales qualified leads based on the content that you're sharing and based on the education that you provide. So part of the reason that I do these live streams, I'm not just doing the live streams just to, show up every week and like teach something new. I'm also grooming and creating what are called sales qualified leads. How? My goal is to teach you, to help you to grow, to help you to improve and get to a point where when you are ready for help and you would like a coach, you're like, okay, well, I'd love to work with LaTisha. That's really like how you can also make your marketing efforts work with you and with your quote unquote sales team, even if you don't have a sales team. I want you to start thinking of your business, and we'll talk about this more for the annual session, but I want you to start thinking of your business more as ways that you can plug people into different places. Even if you're the only one that's doing all of the positions, when it is time for you to, for example, plug in a sales team, how does your marketing team, do those layups? How do they help transfer people over to your sales team? So start thinking about that as well. Okay. Another quick heads up is if you do need help growing your email list, getting more MQLs, getting more leads on your list, I've got a program. It's called Grow Your List, Grow Your Income. Inside of this program, I cover how to grow an email list from scratch, 7 most popular lead magnets. I talk about how to convert leads into, how to convert followers into email subscribers, and then also how to convert leads over into sales qualified leads. And it even includes 122 email subject lines that you can use right now to get more people to open your list. Okay, so if you're interested in this and you'd like to take things further, go to latisha.tv/grow and you will get all of the details there. I told you I was prepared. You thought 2023 was coming for me. I'm coming for 2023. Okay, cool. So let's move on to our next thing. What's going on, Zan the Man? All right. So now we are into our next piece. All right. So we've covered as a part of our money machine, we want revenue out, right? We want revenue as our output. We've got 3 inputs: conversions, leads, and finally traffic or eyeballs. I love using the word eyeballs just because someone sees you doesn't mean they take action. So it really like helps define what that is. Okay. So if that's what we want, if that's our final input for our money machine, how can we use AI? How can we use artificial intelligence to get more eyeballs on our content? All right. Here's what I got for you. So I got 2 really cool tools that I'm going to show you. I'm coming with the tools today. Okay. Just like we do every week on Tools Day. But I got them for you today. Okay. This is what's called ChatGPT. Right now, this tool is absolutely free, meaning you do not have to pay to leverage it, to use it. The problem is some people don't even know how to use it. So I'm going to give you some examples of how you could make the most of this. Here's one of the questions I asked it today. Okay. I went in here and I said, let me refresh this. All right. I went in here and I said, write a short social media post about how to get catchy coaching clients and give it a catchy hook. So it says, are you ready to take your coaching business to the next level? Struggling to find your dream clients? Follow these 3 simple steps to attract your ideal coaching clients. I read it and I'm like, that's actually pretty good. Maybe I might adjust it just a little bit, but I actually really like that. So if you're not really sure what to do, how about coming in here to Chat GPT. If you don't know where it is, just go to Google, type Chat GPT. It'll take you to the website, but it's openai.com. And you can type in anything. So let's say your topic is helping clients with, I feel like I always do weight loss. So let's do career, right? Helping clients with career. So you could say something like, write an outline for a TikTok skit on making a lateral career move. Okay, so then you type it in there and you let it go to work and do its magic. It's like, sure, here's an outline for a TikTok skit on making a lateral career move. Introduce the main character who's feeling stuck in their current job and looking for a change. So now your main character's like, man, I'm feeling stuck and I'm looking for a change. Show the main character talking to a friend or a career coach, right? So you could have like you on one side and then you again, but as the person on the other side, and then have them do some research. So you can show them like typing on their computer, doing some research, show them networking, reaching out to contacts, then have them apply, interview for the job, show them getting the job, starting their career, and end with them reflecting on their decision and how it benefited them. Okay. And then here's the thing, there's no call to action. Could you write a call to action for this? Okay, so we got to make sure we include a call to action. So here's a call to action for the TikTok skit on making a lateral career move. Don't be afraid to explore new opportunities and make a lateral move in your career. If you're feeling stuck in your current job, okay, so this is way too long. So I'm like, okay, look, this is way too long. So as soon as it stops, I'm gonna be like, okay, did you shorten that to one sentence? Okay, so this is where I'm talking about like it requires you to lead, right? It requires you to be a little specific. Don't be afraid to explore new career opportunities. It can lead to new skills and experience that can help you grow and make advance in the long run. Okay. This is a really cool tool. It's absolutely free. You can go to, once again, you literally, if you go to Google and type in Chat GPT like this, it'll come up right here. Okay. This is the one you want to go to. OpenAI, okay? Not any of these other, man, these people they're on it fast, okay? You want to go to the website, OpenAI, okay? It's chat.openai.com. So if you go to that website, you'll see at the very top, it'll say introducing ChatGPT, and you click try, and it'll show you how to actually try it, okay? It's absolutely free. Heidi says it's her bae. It's her new 2023 boo thing. Girl, me too. So it's free. Here's another tool. Okay, so this tool is not free. This tool I got, it was a one-time. I paid a one-time fee for it, and it's called Word Hero. Okay, now the reason that I like this tool versus like some other tools that might be free is it's designed to be user friendly. So ChatGPT is great. You can type stuff in and you get, it's free, right? But for example, if I want to do something specific, like let's say I wanted to expand on some bullet points, there's a lot of formulas in here that I can use. It'll write Google Ads, generic emails, marketing ideas, offer ideas. Once again, I grabbed this one. It's called Word Hero for a one-time fee. I get a lot of my software tools because I'm an AppSumo subscriber. If you're not familiar with AppSumo, go to, I'll type it in the chat here. Go to LaTishaStyles.com/AppSumo. That's my partner link, okay? And get on their list, okay? When you get on their list, they're going to email you almost every day, but they're going to say, hey, here's a tool that does this. Here's a tool that does that. And the really cool things about these tools is a lot of times they're essentially just getting started. Okay, I don't know why it's saying reload. Okay, there we go. It's essentially, sometimes these tools are like just getting started. So what happens is you can get in for a lifetime fee of $40, $50. And then when that tool starts charging monthly, you don't have to pay again. And so this was one that I got with a lifetime fee. I believe it's still on there with a lifetime fee. It's called Word Hero. And once again, you can go to LaTishaStyles.com/appsumo in order to get your subscription to it. All right. How are we feeling about our money machine so far? We're excited, making some money there. All right, here we go with our next things. And let me change my window again. Oh, it almost locked. There we go. Okay, so now we know how to get our three inputs, right? So we know how to get our traffic to convert into leads. Okay, so let's just do some more dollar signs in here. We got our traffic. Okay, this is our eyeballs. That's an eyeball. That's a scary looking eyeball. Right? This is our traffic. We're going to go to Chat GPT. We're going to ask it to create some skits, but guess what? You still have to record them. Okay, but that's fine. As time goes on and as some of these tools evolve, you might be able to create something similar to what I did, which is this thing right here that you're looking at, where it's got my face with this little cyber eye that I found on Canva. I created that with an AI tool. There's actually an entire video. If you haven't seen it, it's so cool. I took like one of my old videos where I was trying to do like this cool transition. And then as I transition, I come back in, and at first there's like this cartoon. You can see the bookcase behind me, like how it like changes, and like the sweater, like that sweater doesn't really look like that in real life, but it looks so real, doesn't it? So I think that a lot of these tools, as they start evolving, we're going to find new ways to incorporate them in our business. But I feel like right now, one of the main things that you can do is, hey, let me spend 5 minutes a day, go on Chat GPT, create a little piece of content and go put it out there. Go hire someone to turn it into a graphic. Like, these are things that you can do right now that don't cost you extra time and money. Okay. So we got our traffic. We're going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to get some really awesome ideas for content. We're going to put that content out there. We're going to tell people, hey, sign up for my email list. And if you're not sure how to do that, you're going to go to latisha.tv/grow. You're going to purchase Grow Your List, Grow Your Income, and it's going to walk you through that entire process. Then from there, we're going to convert them. Same thing. It's inside of that program. I talk about that. We're going to convert them from our email list over to getting them either on the phone or getting them over to our webinar or whatever it is. And then finally, we got our output. This is your money machine right here. Okay. If you didn't know what's your ultimate 2023 money machine, it's working backwards into the numbers. Now, one thing that we're going to be doing during the goal planning session is I'm actually going to be helping you figure out what numbers you need here. And that's too much for me to go into on this live stream, which is why I'm saving it for our session that's going to be happening in a couple of hours. But if you know the number that you want here, you should also know the number that you need here. You should know the number that you need here. And therefore, you should also know the number that you need here. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's move on. We're done with this. So let me close that out, stop that recording so I can save it for later. We'll save it as 1/7/2023 desktop. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. Done with the iPad. I'm feeling fired up. Okay. Fired up. Lynette, if you want to watch the replay on this and you join to become a channel member, all you have to do is go to the live streams playlist and it'll show up there, or you could just come back to the same link. You'll be able to see it there. Okay, cool. Next, here's a tip. If you want to make money every single day this year, you have to promote every single day. It seems simple, right? It's like, oh, if I want to make money every day, I should promote every day. But the trap that people fall into, the pitfall that people fall into is that they think if they promote every day, they're being salesy. And all this means when I say promote every day is you should have an annual marketing calendar. Inside of your annual marketing calendar, sometimes you're going to be promoting something free. Sometimes you're going to be promoting something paid. Sometimes you're going to be promoting your sales call, your free consultation call, whatever you call it. there's different things that you'll be promoting, but you should be promoting every single day. If you're not promoting every single day, your income is probably going to be a little bit sporadic. It's not going to look as even as you want it to. So if you want to make sales every day, you should be promoting every single day. The way that I like to do this is I like to create an annual marketing calendar. Inside of my annual marketing calendar, the first thing I do is I split up the year into the 4 quarters. Then in those 4 quarters, I look at each month. There's 3 months in a quarter, right? So I look at those 3 months and I think, what theme or topic do I have for this month? And therefore, what am I sharing? For example, the topic for January for this month is growing your email list. So, what do I have to help you grow your email list? Well, I've got a free email marketing toolkit that you can download. What does that do? It allows me to bring new people onto my list. I also have a paid product, which is Grow Your List, Grow Your Income. It's a mini course that allows me to start making sales as well. And it makes it easier for me to create ads so that I can, start bringing people onto my list there as well. So if you don't already know what your marketing calendar is, let's create one. It's very simple. It's very simple and straightforward, but it does require you to kind of sit down and plan it out. Okay. Yes, promote every day. Reverse engineer just means work backwards. So when you engineer something, it means that you are making a concentrated effort to put the parts in place. And if you're reverse engineering, you're saying, if I want this output, what inputs do I need? And then you work backwards. So if you say, I need, this much in revenue for the year, or this is my goal, then you work backwards to how many people would I have to convert in order to make that goal? Okay, how many leads would I have to get in order to convert those many people? How many eyeballs would I have to get in order to get that many leads? And so on and so forth. All right. In our final step, we're actually doing great on time today. Our final step of creating a money-making machine. So our step 1 was to work backwards. Our step 2 was to create an annual marketing calendar. Our step 3 is simple. It's Amplify. Okay. So if you want to make more while working less, do this. 3 things: cross sells, upsells, downsells. Cross sells, upsells, downsells. Earlier, when I mentioned that ThriveCart was one of my favorite tools to make more or get better at converting, what did I say? I said convert more leads into buyers, right? So when I said that ThriveCart was one of my favorite tools to convert more leads into buyers, it's because it's very, very easy to create upsells and downsells. The cross-selling process is something that I do inside of my email list. I do that after someone's purchased, but the upsell and downsell process, I can do all of that with ThriveCart. So there was, when I was in, I think it was like 2020 or 2021, towards like right after the first quarter, I looked at what I had done so far. So this was like April, and I was like, okay, let's look at January, February, March. And I did in April what I normally only do at the end of the year. I decided to pull all of my products, all of the revenue from each of the products, and I put it in a spreadsheet. So I figured out, what sold the most, what didn't sell as well, and I ordered it. When I ordered it, I realized that there was one product that people were buying that I wasn't even really promoting. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that means that even if I'm not promoting this product, somehow people are buying it. How are they buying it? And I realized that it was in a funnel that had, it was in a funnel as an upsell. And I forgot that I had even created that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what other funnels do I have that don't have upsells? And I started looking at some of the other products and I said, okay, well, this one naturally leads into this other product. So let me add this as an upsell. Okay, this product doesn't have a bump offer. So let me create a bump offer here. That's a type of an upsell. And I just started putting those things in place. A couple months later, I looked again and it was like, oh, wow, my income has increased. So these are like simple things that you're just probably not doing. Once again, before we go towards AI, let's work on some RI first, right? And one of those things that you can do is amplifying your efforts without really adding more work. And that's simply putting in an upsell, putting in a downsell, and offering cross sells. So let me define everything just to make sure we're all on the same page. A cross sell means it's like a lateral move. if someone purchased grow your email list, they might also like funnel to freedom, for example. But it's not in the same funnel. They end the buying process with grow your email list. They get the email. It's like, hey, welcome. Inside of grow your email list, I might say something like, if you enjoyed this, you'll really like funnel to freedom. And then they're like, oh, what's that? And then they click over that and maybe they purchase. Another way to implement this is what's called an offer wall. After people purchase, you can have a page that has just a bunch of your other products. I've done this before. I don't like it as much because I think it's kind of confusing, but it works. Okay, so after you do that, let's say they see a product they like, they can go and purchase again. Then we've got upsells. This is, there's two types of upsells. One is a before purchase upsell, which is called a bump offer. And then the second is an after purchase upsell, which is usually just called an upsell. A bump offer means I'm on the shopping cart, I'm about to order my burger, and I ask you, do you want fries with that? And you say yes, then you check out. That's a bump offer. The fries are the bump offer. After you check out, then the very next page says, hey, if you liked this, you might also like that. And it's an upsell because it happens right after. And because you haven't, quote unquote, left the store yet, the credit card is still, the purchase process is still open. So you don't have to type your credit card in again in order to say yes. You can just click and purchase. So that's an upsell. A downsell would be, let's say you say no to that. Then the next page would say, okay, but would you rather have this or would you rather have a payment plan? That's a downsell. A downsell, once again, the purchase process is still open. You don't have to type your credit card in. Again, you can click yes and purchase that right away. So if you don't already have these things in place, look at your shopping cart. If you don't have a shopping cart, highly, highly recommend Thrivecart because it's very easy to put these things in place. Once you have these things in place, or once you have a shopping cart that makes it easy, you literally can just like copy, like sometimes I copy an upsell from another funnel, put it in that funnel, copy bump offers. It's just easy enough to just, put a lot of these things in place. Okay. And then the next thing is, and the final thing is to work on getting free traffic. This is an area that I will have to say that I'm not as savvy on. I use paid traffic. I love using paid traffic. It's simple, straightforward, and for me, it's like a machine. Like I can put in $1 and I can get out, however many dollars on the back end. So I prefer using paid traffic. However, I am amplifying my results by working on getting organic or free traffic. And so that means that I should be doing more organic content. So, for example, creating YouTube videos, trying to go viral with like carousel posts. So, some of you guys might have seen some of the posts that I recently created for my Instagram account. They're carousel posts. I've done a lot more reels and things like that. And basically just working on trying to get free traffic. Even though it might not necessarily be as targeted, it's just a way to amplify what I'm already doing. And it doesn't really cost me much more in time and energy. All right. All right. So let's go to the questions. And I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're enjoying this already, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to be able to come back to this one, don't forget to become a channel member. Okay, let's go to the question. So Darnice says, is there an app that I would recommend to create an annual marketing calendar? Just starting your monthly calendar. Honestly, I really like using Excel. I know that it probably seems fairly simple and straightforward, but when I'm creating a marketing calendar, I just use Excel. I look at the actual calendar. So I'll pull up calendar.google.com, right? So I'll pull up my calendar or I'll just pull it up on my phone. And then I look at the months. I'll look at where holidays fall. I'll look at, when do I expect to be out of town, for example, because that also informs what I do. And so, for example, with my live streams, obviously, if I'm out of town, I typically don't host a live stream. If it's a holiday, I won't host it. So, for example, I know that in May, I'm probably going to be out of town that Memorial Day weekend. And so I just block that one off. So I just go through and I put everything inside of Excel. After I get done putting everything in Excel, then I really just kind of like look at it day to day, month to month. All right, awesome. Good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm loving this too. I'm not familiar with Copy AI. I use Word Hero. I think it's pretty similar. And also Phrase. So I'll use Phrase for like longer blog posts if I want to create a blog post. One thing that you do need to be aware of is because there's such a rise in artificial intelligence written content, there's new rules coming out by one of the largest search engines, which is Google, and they're actually penalizing content that's been written by robots. So there's a tool that will allow you to check how much of the content is AI generated, and then you can make changes based on that. I don't remember what the tool is. I haven't used it because I haven't written any AI blog posts. But if I do, and if I choose to, I'll kind of run it through. I think one of the easiest ways to use AI without getting penalized is to transfer the type of content. So, for example, if you go on ChatGPT and you ask it for a TikTok skit, the minute you record it, it's not AI. When you ask it for a social media post, the minute you verbally say it, it's no longer AI. And that's the way that I would start doing it. I typically create YouTube videos. So, for example, if I got it to create a YouTube video script, I would just record that YouTube video and then take the script and transfer it to a blog post, and that would likely remove the AI footprint in it. Okay, good. Who would I say are the top 4 people teaching paid traffic on YouTube? Ooh, I like I bought his course also. What's his name? Give me a second. I'm gonna have to go to my email and just search his name up real quick. Because I have his course also. I just have to type YouTube. Kyle Sullerud. Kyle Sullerud. Actually really like his content. He has a YouTube channel. It's hilarious. He's like kind of dull and he makes fun of that. So it's funny. Okay, good. Do I get better results from paid versus organic? That's a great question. I get more results from paid. However, I would say the quality is typically better on organic. And what I mean when I say that is I'll have people who find me via YouTube, and then we hop on a call, or they come and make a purchase right away. And that's because they were specifically searching for the service or product that I offer. And so it makes it easy for them to convert versus paid traffic. I'm usually popping up on somebody. So that's sort of the difference. But I can't really influence how many people I get via organic, which is why it's difficult to answer that question. Okay. Rachel says, I'm curious how you plan your Saturday teaching. Starting this month, I'm teaching bi-weekly with my community as a way to serve, but also market and sell. That's a great question. Typically, what I do when I'm scheduling a topic is I think about what am I excited to talk about? What do I think you guys want to learn? What can I expand on and chat about for practically an hour? Because it's almost 1:00 now. And then I choose a topic. Awesome. Okay, good. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed this. ChatGPT is valued at 29 billion according to Forbes. Yeah, it's huge. Alana says, do we need to be concerned with plagiarism when using AI? If so, outside of Grammarly, who would you recommend? I would recommend first checking it through an AI. It's like you're just gonna have to Google the name of it. I don't remember the name of it. I saw it on a YouTube video where this guy took his content that he wrote with AI and he put it through an AI checker, and it was like, this content is AI generated. That's what I would be more concerned about versus plagiarism. And then once you do that and it tells you, hey, this is not AI generated, then I would send it through Grammarly, and then I would fact check everything, because just because it comes through AI doesn't mean that it's absolutely true. Okay. I don't remember how much his course was. I still have it, but it absolutely was worth it. Honestly, like his free YouTube videos helped me a lot to actually just create the first YouTube ads that I created. So, okay, cool. Well, that is what I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me for today's session. We will keep the conversation going. If you still have questions or you still want to chat some more about this inside of the Profit Creator community, in order to join us, go to latisha.tv/group and join up inside of there. Until next time, remember, your dreams deserve your decision and you deserve to achieve your dreams, but only if you decide to do whatever it takes to get them. So go, dream, decide, do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.